Okay, hello. We're going to talk about globalization and how we are in favor or against of it. We will also talk about the impact that it has on Colombia. Here is our team in favor: Maria Yepes and Ana Maria Gutierrez, and Jennifer Fajardo and I, Jacob Ramirez. Both were the team against of globalization. So let's get started.
Good evening. My name is Maria Fernanda Yepes. I talk about the advantages of the globalization. In this case, in Colombia. Colombia is significantly impacted by globalization because it has established relationship with countries and demonstrate global interdependencies. Other advantage, Colombia depends heavily on energy and mining export. And finish, Colombia is the world fourth largest coal export. I think about that.
Okay, thank you, but I need to say that I totally disagree on that. I think that globalization can become good only if the country has the resources to be able to exploit it and exploit what it entails. Since the opposite has to be very unequal, and in other words, it could be said that the rich can get richer and the poor can also become poorer. As I said before, a totally connected world, yeah, can be beneficial in terms of information and other issues, but it also sets some parameters or standards that not all country can meet. I think too that globalization is not only an informative or communicative, but also economic, political, cultural, and in some ways, the environmental field is also affected. For example, Colombia. In my opinion, we still cannot make the most of globalization due to the current condition of our country, and we're constantly trying to meet the standards and that I mentioned above, regardless of the damage we do, to the point that instead of improving, we get worse, or even we improve on one thing and we get worse another three. And finally, I think that a clear example of what I say are, for example, the pollution that we generate when trying to reach other countries with chemicals, or even without going so far, we can talk about and the excessive consumerism in face of a poor economy that doesn't strive to grow as it should. I think that, and that's my point of view.
Thank you, Jacob, for your point of view. I kind of disagree with what you're saying because I feel that globalization is somehow an advantage for countries that, for example, developing countries such as Colombia or Africa, the continent of Africa. Um, I feel that, well, as globalization has different features such as improvement of technology, politics, economy, social and cultural, well, these kind of aspects. I think that if globalization is used somehow in a good way, it can help like a lot in a country for being maybe like or become a leader in like in the list, let's say, of the most powerful countries. Um, I think that regarding that, what you said, that rich countries become richer and poor countries become poorer, I think that this statement is wrong, because if this kind of like countries that decide to go global um start to put their manufacturers or their plants in another country, in another countries, they somehow offer jobs to the population or the people living in that foreign country. Somehow, like it helps to the economy to grow, because if they start building more manufacturers and more plants, more jobs they are going to offer, and they are going to need more people. I think that regarding Colombia, I feel that Colombia is a country that has a lot to offer, and if globalization is used in a good way, Colombia can become one of the most powerful or can become most powerful country, because of the resources, the natural resources that we have, and well, if you look at the what we have, we just need machinery to explode everything that we have in the country, and we need to improve our relationships between other countries, maybe like improve our relationship with US or with UK or Europe, as we have fruits, we have tropical fruits that you cannot find here in the UK. um, we have a lot of textiles that it's a good quality. um, and well, regarding good quality products, I we need to understand that countries that decide to use globalization for producing goods and offer services, they decide to use others country labor, because it's a lower cost, but with good quality. And you as a consumer, you want good quality product, so a good quality product. So I feel that that's one of the facts that we need to take into account. Yes, in well, I'm somehow in agreement with regarding the pollution that um, globalization brings with it. But if we find a way that transportation, or the way that we transport the goods, or or we offer the services, what we can do is everybody can use globalization for getting out of the poor side, and somehow help their people and grow up their economy.
Well, but in my opinion, the globalization has generated devaluation of the national cultures of the countries. And I think that to cheap labor and the concentration of wealth for the more developed countries, which contributes to the increase of people in extreme poverty. And now some economists argue that in recent decades, globalization, the scientific and technological revolution are the main causes of rising unemployment. On the other hand, the globalization has affected the economic base of the country. For example, the agriculture due to the security policies that had been implemented. The industrialization of all products has led to a gigantic investment to produce all consumer goods according to established guidelines. And finally, I think the gross domestic product has decreased due to the avalanche of products at lower prices for other countries. How did you say?
Okay, thank you. Well, just to wrap up this debate, and taking into account your point of view, we need to say that globalization has its advantages and disadvantages for every country, and it doesn't matter if it's a rich country or a poor country. What we can say regarding this debate is that definitely globalization helps countries to um, let's say grow up their business or their economy, um, and but somehow we need to find a way for this kind of opportunity to not only help for not only helping the economy or politic aspect, but also the cultural environmental aspect. as I think that we can find a way for every company to learn more about the culture and preserve the culture of the country that they are going to use as a global market, and also to find a way that we don't harm the environment. It can be improving the transportation, or somehow it needs to be the main focus. It will need to be the transportation, as you would need to, or you somehow you required a lot of ships or planes, and of course they have a lot of pollution. So if we can tackle all those aspects that are in the negative way, I think that globalization can help a lot of countries to just not grow out their economy, but also they can improve their relationship between each other and just become just one country, all the countries around the world. So thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye bye.